Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
They got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit.
I object.
There's a lawsuit.
This is the next search on February 28, 2020, 7:44 p.m. How, does the FBI find people? And people is misspelled P-E-O-O-P-L-E. Did the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case? Oh, she found out.
I completely messed that up. But guess what? We're here. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. I'm trying to find the proper counter. Well, we're going to get there in just a minute. Let's see, super source. Let's just bring this in. There's actually a lot of things to do to start a live stream. A ton of things. We have to, first of all, we have to put our on-screen chat on the screen so you guys can see that. Is that working? Yes, it is. Thank you, sample user. No, just kidding. Selena K, congratulations. First in chat, you beat Greeners. Some people are saying good. That's not nice. That's not nice. Greeners, it was close. Good job. Greeners, though, gifted 10 memberships. Thank you very much, my friend. That was right at the end of the last stream. We picked it up on this one. Thank you very much. We also have a... let's see, Chris Wallace gifted a membership. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. It's a gifting train. Krista just gifted 5 memberships as well. 16 memberships in just moments. You guys are incredibly generous. Make sure is sample user a member yet? I don't know. That's a great question. We are supposed to be starting court any second now. It has, as you can see, it hasn't started. We're sitting here staring at the wall in Las Vegas. That's cool. That's cool because I've got some things to do. So you can just entertain yourselves while I try to figure out why. Let's see, let me put this here. We're going to switch camera 4. Box 4 is going to be MP1, which is the same. No change there. Now we need to put this on MP2. And then tie our downstream keyer. Look at that. Boom. We got the anybody count. Thank you. Oh, you guys aren't done. Holy cow, look what just happened. Miss Trial just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much, Miss Trial. Also, Tess Hurd gifted a membership. You guys are absolutely amazing. I'm surprised that we have anyone left in gray to receive the memberships, but it's raining. It is raining memberships. It's raining memberships. Hallelujah. Thank you for the membership. Thank you for being here, Nancy D. Appreciate that. Love the Yellow Courthouse. You've been here a lot. We like that. I love the generosity of so many devotees of RA. This community is incredible. They really are. Thank you very much, Megan Easton, for gifting a membership as well. Everyone, we're going to need the umbrella from the last trial to shield yourself from the following memberships. Let's see. I need to fix the audio before they blast our eardrums out here. Let me turn that down. I forget what our settings were for TELUS as opposed to the naughty neighbor. Edsel Dog just gifted 5 memberships. I'm having a hard time keeping up here. Kim R gifted a membership. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. Greeners comes into the super chat. A very public apologies to Samantha Terry. Greeners. I guess today is a day of apologies. That's good. It's a good day for it. It's always a good day to apologize. Honestly, an apology is so much better than like the history for a crime. Selena K gifted 5 memberships. You know what I'm saying there, right? It's easier to apologize now than down the road have to explain to an officer how this all began. Selena K, thank you for your generosity. Also coming in, Pauline Anna gifted a membership. There are very few people to receive. I mean, they're still going out the door, but I think we've just about got you all, which is great, which is just wonderful. Are we starting this trial behind today? No, we did yesterday. Or luckily, the bad neighbor trial started or ended early, which is perfect for this one. Tomorrow's going to be more of a challenge. Both of them are starting basically at the same time, so we'll have to figure out which one we want to prioritize and then watch the other one at another time. I don't know how we're going to do that. I added an anybody counter. Feel free to update the case goes, as I may not be on. All right, thank you, Amanda Bell. I'll take a look at the thumbnail for that. Have we got chewing gum on the thumbnail yet? I'll have to look at the thumbnail first. Let's see if I can bring that over. Ooh.
Mr. Dressage.
This is the first full day after opening statements, so this is day 2 of the trial. Josh, thank you very much for gifting the membership. Just waiting on Michelle Levitt, the judge.
Okay, good morning. Does the state stipulate to the presence of the panel? Yes, Your Honor. And the defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is Detective Mogg here? He's outside. All right, I'll start so we can bring the witness back in and Mr. Draskovich can begin his cross-examination. Yeah. Let's step in. Oh, that fix? Okay. That one still works? Okay.
It's a noisy courtroom. Josh Hutchins, thank you very much for the gifted membership. Lindsay Lewis, congratulations, 11 months. Woohoo! Thank you to whomever gifted you. Corey May, tell us about Tellus, baby. My vote for tomorrow.
We're going to re-swear you in, okay?
Thank you, Corey.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated.
Holly Mack, thanks for
Please
gifting
state
5
and spell your
memberships.
first and last name for the record.
Clifford, C-L-I-F-F-O-R-D, Mogg, M-O-G-G.
He's back on the stand.
Thank you. Good morning, Detective Mogg.
Morning, Mr. Draskovich.
And we'll stop right there. It's obviously not a detective. I know old habits die hard. You've since retired, and now you're a private investigator.
I'm not a private investigator. I'm
Private
a consultant. Correct.
Fair. All right. Turning your attention to your testimony at the end of yesterday, the locations of interest, and this was your slide that I'm referring to. I believe it's slide 7. You were primarily focused on this 5.3 mile trip, give or take, between Mr. Garman's residence and the residence belonging to Mr. Tellus, correct?
That's an approximation.
Okay. How many neighborhoods or designated neighborhoods are within, just along this route, this 5.3 mile distance?
We're going to teleport back in time
Numerous.
about 30 seconds or less.
Fair to say
just 1 second.
hundreds.
I wouldn't know if it was hundreds, but there's.
You had given testimony towards the end of the day yesterday that you had driven through Mr. Tellus's neighborhood, correct?
I did.
Mr. Tellus's neighborhood, correct?
I did.
There we go.
Looking for another
Trying to fix
Denali?
the audio.
examining the area, looking for vehicles, correct.
And what other vehicles would you be looking for other than a red Denali?
We were advised that Mr. Tejas also had two other vehicles. I believe one is a BMW, the other one was a Tesla. And so we drove the area. I believe at the time that I drove through, I can't recall if both the BMW, the Tesla, and the Tahoe were at his residence or not, but those were the vehicles we knew that he had access to.
Okay, and in reference to this 5.3 mile route, which you had reviewed approximately 20 cameras on, did you review that route for the BMW?
No, we did not.
Did you review that route for the Tesla?
We did not.
So then back to Mr. Tellis's neighborhood. You'd agree with me that when you drove through Mr. Tellis's neighborhood, you were looking for a red Denali similar to his?
I was looking for all the vehicles that were registered to him.
Approximately how many houses were in his specific neighborhood?
Oh, rough guess, maybe 100-ish. It's kind of a looped neighborhood.
Do you recall the name of the neighborhood?
I do not.
Do you recall the subdivision to which this neighborhood belonged?
I can't recall off the top of my head the name of the subdivision.
Do you recall whether or not it was in, let's say, Lake Las Vegas, Pickles Ranch, Summerlin?
I believe it might have been Pickles Ranch area. That's what's right there on Charleston.
Are you aware of what, or any HOAs that had jurisdiction, assuming there was, over this neighborhood?
I'm not.
You had given testimony concerning, and I'll flip through so we can all see. It's your slide 15. (9:10), and you had given testimony yesterday at about 4:12 p.m. that you had seen this red Denali entering this area near where Mr. Tellis lived, correct?
At approximately 9:10 in the morning, that's correct.
And just so we're clear, at 9:10 from this camera that it was 9601 Red Hills Drive, basically the Piggott Elementary School, you saw the Denali arriving in the neighborhood, not specifically to Mr. Tellis's house, but the area, correct?
It drove into the neighborhood where Mr. Tejas lives.
And he was arriving, assuming, and you know, that's again too, we don't know who was driving, do we?
That's correct.
Throughout your testimony yesterday, you repeatedly said he, the driver, he. We don't know, all things being you, whether it was a he or a she, do we?
I'm fairly confident it was a male.
Okay, but you didn't know. You don't know. You can't testify today whether it was a male or a female, can you?
Not positively.
We'll have to
Back
watch
to
for
this
that.
arrival. Whoever's driving this Denali at 9:10:18 DVR time on September 2nd, 2022, do you know where that Denali was arriving from, or where its place of origin is from?
Well, I looked at phone records from Mr. Tejas, and I know that earlier in the morning, previous to 9:10, he was down in the area of, I believe it was Desert Inn and Durango. There's a school down there in that neighborhood.
Okay. But again, not based upon any captures from any ring cams, school cams, gas station cams. That's based upon his cell phone data, correct?
That's correct. The camera at his residence did not record, and there wasn't anything on the ring camera of evidentiary value.
And we'll get to that. But just so we're clear, though, as far as where this vehicle was, we don't know, do we? We have no records concerning that red Denali prior to 9:10 a.m.
That's correct.
We don't know the location of this red Denali on September 1st, the day before, do we?
I do not.
And we don't know the location of this red Denali following, let's say, 9/3, do we?
I believe there were surveillance units set up on that vehicle at some point after 9/2, but I don't recall the exact date.
Let me ask you this. Are you aware of Mr. Tellis being under surveillance prior to this date in question, September 2nd, 2022?
No.
At this point in time, you worked with the homicide unit?
That's correct.
So you were unaware of what other involvement, if any other units may have had concerning details concerning Mr. Tellis?
I know there were other units in the Metropolitan Police Department that were involved in an investigation concerning Mr. Tejas, but I don't know the details concerning that investigation.
Are you aware of a surveillance detail that had been focused on Mr. Tellis on the days preceding this killing of Mr. Garum?
I am not.
Are you aware that he was subject to surveillance on the day of this killing of Mr. Garum?
I am not.
The next slide I'd like you to turn your attention to is, let's see, we'll go here. It's at 9:12. This is where you discussed roughly the same time Mr. Gehrman is leaving the taco shop. Again, you'd said that the time was wrong in this, correct?
That's correct. The clock time on the DVR is wrong. I believe this is, I'd have to go back and look at the previous slide, but probably somewhere around 9:14 in the morning.
Okay, and you were shown a receipt by Mr. Hamner concerning a receipt.
I don't think I was shown a receipt.
Okay, was there any discussion with you and Mr. Hamner concerning a receipt from Roberto's Taco Shop on the morning in question?
No, I know that one existed. That's how we ended up going there. That was found during a search of Mr. Gurman's residence. And so that's one of the reasons that we went to the taco shop, is to follow up on the time of that receipt. And I believe, if memory serves me correctly, the time on the receipt was about 9:04.
And are you aware of that receipt and the timestamp on the receipt being accurate, or is it just an assumption that it was?
Based on the adjusted time on the DVR, I think the time was pretty accurate, but I can't testify that it absolutely was accurate.
All right. Now moving on. This is a 9/12/32. This is from the same 906 Red Hills Drive, the Piggott Elementary, correct?
Yes, sir.
And your testimony yesterday was at this time we see this Denali leaving this area, correct?
Yes, sir.
But just so we're clear, the last point of either seeing this vehicle arriving or leaving, this is about as close as we get to the Tellis residence, correct?
It is.
But still, we have a distance, don't we? I mean, it's not right around the corner, but I mean, there's a distance between this camera and Mr. Tellis's home.
Where I lose track of the Denali as it heads north, it's right around the corner from Mr. Tejas' residence.
And, you know, since we're on the subject, I'll just address this right now. This surveillance camera, the Ring camera at Mr. Tellis's home, security cameras.
Thank you, Ellie.
It's your testimony that you could not find any video from that day, correct?
That's correct. If any video would have been recovered, it would have been provided to me so that I could have used it in my PowerPoint. I know that detectives at the scene who were executing the search warrant there, in addition to myself, requested that our digital forensics lab come out and examine the DVR. I don't know what the results of that examination are.
So you're not able to give testimony whether it was cloud-based or not?
I am not.
You're not aware of whether the passcode had been given to it and followed through?
All I know is that the digital forensics detectives came out, and they're the ones that examined the system.
So they would know in reference to that system versus you, fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And you're not aware of when any security system may have been installed, whether it was the day before on the Telus residence, are you?
I am not.
Are you aware of any other neighbors of Mr. Telus who had been spoken to concerning their Ring cameras or their security systems that could have gotten you closer to the Telus home?
I am aware that other detectives canvassed the area for surveillance video, and I don't believe we were able to locate any.
But you can't say for certain, can you?
Well, I can say that if video would have been recovered, it would have been given to me to be used as part of the PowerPoint that I created.
But again, and just so we're clear, and if I may approach this screen, I mean, we've got the Pickett Elementary School here. That's where the green pen is, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we have the Telus home up here, a ways away on the other side of Spanish Steps, correct?
Correct.
So you said it was right around the corner, but it's actually really not. You'd have to leave Pickett Elementary School, come over here on Red Hills, drive up Red Hills, Silk Tassel, hit Spanish Steps. And from this picture, we can't really see, but we don't really have the entrance to Mr. Telus' neighborhood captured, do we?
So where I lose track of the Denali is about 6 houses south of the intersection, and then right around the corner to Mr. Tejas' residence.
But you agree with me, just based upon this capture, and this presumably is from a satellite?
The picture of this?
Yes.
Yes, it's Google Earth.
We've got quite a few homes. We've got that Silk Tassel Drive. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's a terrible name.
On one side, 6 on the other. Then we have
Tassel.
Spanish Steps. We have homes on each side. There's a lot of homes there, isn't there, that could have security cameras?
There were, but not every home has security cameras, and just because you have a camera doesn't mean that it captures anything.
Kind of like in the instance of Mr. Telus' home. Just because there's a camera, that doesn't mean anything was captured, correct?
That's correct.
But fair to say, we do have several homes between this Pickett vantage point and the Telus home.
There are several, yes.
You had given testimony concerning seeing a red Denali drive by from a certain vantage point, and you weren't able to see whether or not it had a plate, correct?
That's correct.
Do you recall which capture you were referring to?
I believe that was from 1405 Wintergreen, and there was no plate visible on the back of the truck at the time that it drove northbound on Wintergreen.
And what time was that?
I don't recall off the top of my head.
Would referring to your notes or your slide preparation refresh your recollection?
If you want to back out of this and go to the PowerPoint itself, and then I'll have to scroll down to the slides.
Okay, I'll do this. We'll go through it together.
So it's that angle.
Right here?
No, not this. But it's this angle from 1405 Wintergreen.
Not that one?
No, sir.
That's Mr. Telus. I'm sorry, that's Mr. Gehrman. Let's see.
That's Mr. Telus. Wait. No. That's Mr. Gehrman.
Since we're here in the interest of time, let's address
that
this.
was a major slip-up.
Were asked, did something jump out at you? Recall that line of questioning yesterday?
Correct.
Thank
And
you,
you were
Red Pen.
shown this in State's Exhibit 317. Mr. Hamner had shown this to the jury, correct?
Yes.
We have a visor down in the summertime on a vehicle, correct?
That's correct.
And you'd said there was something telling, something very characteristic about this capture, correct?
There's one of them, yes.
And we'll get to the other matters, but you said something here on the front just showed you that this must be the same vehicle or similar to the vehicle, correct?
It stood out to me as something that was similar on both the suspect's vehicle and on Mr. Tejas' vehicle.
And if I can show you what's been admitted and shown, published, State's Exhibit 317.
Yes.
Let me approach. This was it, correct?
That's correct.
And you said in your testimonies that there's something here that matches something there concerning this light color area?
Correct. It's just something that drew my attention on both vehicles. And it's a faded area on the plastic of the left front of the Denali.
But then again, this faded area, the sun's reflecting off of it, isn't it?
I don't believe the sun was reflecting off of that.
I would submit that the exhibit will speak for itself. If I told you that it is, do you have any reason to disagree with me?
That the sun is reflecting off of that?
Yes.
I would.
Okay. Well, obviously, too, we'll let those that are the ultimate determiners of fact to determine that. There was other testimony concerning things jumping out at you. The rims on the Denali.
Correct.
These are stock rims, aren't they?
They are.
The tinting in the front, lighter tinting in the front, darker tinting in the back.
That's stock.
Something else?
That's correct, when you take everything into consideration.
But that's a standard feature, is it not? The front windows are generally not tinted and the backs are.
That's not true.
Have you done research concerning the 2007 Denali?
I've seen Denalis. I've seen tinted windows in the front, tinted
him.
windows all the way around, no tint all the way around, some windows tinted, some windows not. It runs the gamut. It depends on the owner of the vehicle and whether or not you want to tint your windows.
Have you done any research in reference to like Car Guru or CarMax, Google, concerning 2007 Denalis, what they look like? Fairly similar to this one.
Similar, yes.
They all have Denali on the side like this Denali has, correct?
They do.
Now, moving forward, please stop me when we come to the capture, I think was the word used, in reference to the license plate.
So if you play this clip.
Okay.
Stop.
Right there.
Yes.
All right.
That's on cornflower. That's another angle where you do not see a license plate on the rear of the vehicle.
Okay. And this is at 1042, correct?
Yes, sir.
This is some distance from the Telus home, correct?
It's about a block.
Now let's hit that. About a block from the Telus home?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's about a block from Mr. Gehrman's residence.
Okay.
It's roughly 5.3 miles from Mr. Tejas' residence.
All right. So we've got a red Denali about an hour and 30 minutes away from the other Denali that's captured at Piggott, that's some distance away from Telus home, correct?
I believe this time is correct. You'd have to go to the slide before for me to confirm that. It is.
Okay. So again, about an hour and a half.
Correct.
We've got a 5.3 mile stretch. And you'll agree with me that we don't have continuous coverage, do we? We have 20 spots, give or take, over a 5.3 mile area. Fair to say?
That's correct. Again, some houses had video, some didn't. Some captured the vehicle, some didn't. Some weren't recording, some were.
And it's your testimony that this capture is at 1042, correct? Give or take, assuming it's accurate.
Yes, sir.
And I'll go forward now to 1405 Winter Green.
So I believe that one also shows that there was no plate on the back of the vehicle.
Okay, and this is 17 minutes after the last one?
Yes, correct.
And this is all in the area of Mr. Gehrman's home, correct?
This is on Wintergreen, about 30 feet north of Bronze Circle where Mr. Garman lived.
So we've got all this time that's transpired, correct?
Minutes.
Well, if we go from 10:42 to 11:01, I mean, we've got some time. Almost 20 minutes.
Well, that's also the suspect out walking around the area.
Okay, we've got 20 minutes that we've gone by, correct?
Sure.
It's crazy, the back and forth.
Fair to say that this video window that we've been looking at begins at about 9:10, correct? Concerning the Denali. I don't want to say it's Mr. Tellis' Denali, but a Denali, correct?
That's correct.
And one of the latter slides that we look at.
Mr. Tellis is tired of looking at this screen. Please
About
change the
11:50,
picture.
Approximately, yes.
That's a fair amount of time, correct?
It is.
Turning your attention to a Denali, a red Denali. Did you receive information that there was about 67 red Denalis in the Vegas area?
There's actually more than that. We had an initial listing, I believe, over 100. Of that 100, one of the Denalis listed on there was registered at Mr. Tejas' residence to his wife, Mary. We further narrowed that list down to red Yukons. The first list was 07 to 14 Yukons. The next list that we narrowed down was 07 to 2014 red Yukons. Again, Mr. Tejas' wife, Mary, at his address was listed on that list. We narrowed it down even further then to red Denalis. And again, Mr. Tejas' wife, Mary, at his address was listed as an owner of that vehicle. We even searched advanced license plate readers, and Mr. Tejas' vehicle was photographed by an advanced license plate reader vehicle at his residence, bearing a license plate, a Nevada commemorative plate. I believe it was 944 Adam.
Okay, and when was this?
I don't know what the exact date was, but I could get it.
Okay, so you don't have it today. I mean, I appreciate you laying out for us the steps of this investigation. But when was this captured?
Laying. That
when
was
was
not
this?
accidental.
Please, tell us.
I could get it for you.
Okay. Have you given it to the state?
I believe everybody has the license plate reader information.
We don't know when, the origin. I mean, as you sit here today, and trust me, it's not a test, but I mean, you don't have it with you.
I do have it with me. I just don't know that my computer is going to work in here.
Okay, fair enough. Fair to say, though, there's more than one Denali, and we're talking about a 5.3-mile area that you were focusing on, correct?
There is more than one Denali in the Clark County Valley.
You're talking about just ones that are registered here, or all the people who came to gamble?
At no point in time, and you'd agree with me that it's your theory, but at no point in time do we have any capture of a red Denali parked and there's a license plate being either removed or put upon it, correct?
There's not.
Most of the captures that we have of this red Denali, you don't really see a plate one way or the other, do you?
I've got a Yukon XL.
No, that's not correct.
Not the Denali.
You don't see the plate as it's traveling around Mr. Gurman's neighborhood. Once it goes down Washington, you can tell that there is something on the back of the vehicle that was not there before.
And if you could direct our attention to which slide specifically you're referring to.
Yes, if you can pull up the one that's on Washington.
Okay, so it's forward from this, looking at the time.
Correct.
Mine's bigger than the Denali. Mine's 15 inches longer, has 10-inch longer wheelbase. Gives more rear storage space for bodies and stuff. I mean, for stuff.
It's near the end.
The one that's taken from the gas station?
No.
Okay.
The one that's taken from the backyard of a residence that backs up to Washington. And then also from the Winco Foods on Washington.
Okay. Please tell me when I should stop.
Right there. So where the red box was, if you look, you can see white and darker, and I believe that is the commemorative license plate that was on the back of the vehicle.
But that's as good as we get. You're saying that that's the one that belongs to the Telus residence, but that's it. You're drawing this conclusion based upon this image.
We're not
Oh,
seeing
no.
that image.
I was present for the execution of a search warrant at Mr. Tejas' residence, where several items of evidence were recovered that absolutely confirmed my belief that Mr. Tejas' vehicle was the one used in the commission of Jeffrey Gurman's murder.
And we understand that, and we understand your point of view in reference to this. But concerning this vehicle, this
got under his
capture,
skin.
1135, at 1135 Sunspot Street at 11:35 in the morning, you're basing this conclusion concerning this commemorative plate, and that this is the vehicle based upon that image.
What I'm saying is that when the vehicle was last photographed at 7200 Periwinkle, as it turned west onto Vegas Drive, the next video that I have, or the next capture I have of the vehicle, is as it travels westbound on Washington from Tenaya. And at that point, it appears to me that there's a license plate on the vehicle.
So you're saying there's a better image of the plate capture than this concerning these putting onto the plate than this what we were looking at?
There is no image of the license plate being put back on the vehicle.
But I'm asking concerning the image of the plate.
If you go to the next one, I believe, from Winco Foods, and again, you can look at the back of that. Now you can clearly see that there is a white area on the rear lift gate.
And that's the commemorative plate that you've testified concerning.
The previous one is what I thought it was, just based on the color scheme, what it looked like.
You see something there, and that's this commemorative plate that you're sure belongs to the Telus vehicle.
No, in this video or in this clip, all I'm saying is now it appears that there is a license plate on the vehicle.
And in reference to the license plate that you're testifying is on this vehicle, you can't tell what kind of plate it is.
You cannot.
Thank you. No further questions.
Wow. A little bit of button heads against each other. Witness made some blunders. Testified to things that he might not have given or included in his report. Nothing major.
Based on Alexander, we have no further.
Okay. Thank you very much for your testimony here today. You step down and you're excused from your subpoena. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can we approach?
Sure.
Can I still go here?
Can the witness still leave?
Oh, yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
As they approach, we're going to do just a quick. I hear some jets flying over. Possibly the F-22. Sounds like an F-22 from Hill Air Force Base. My old job. Not flying the jets. Working there. Trying to see if I can bring one more angle into this. Just checking the orders here.
Okay, Okay, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to recess for lunch. We have our next witness coming until 1 o'clock. And so during this recess, you're admonished not to discuss or communicate with anyone, including your fellow jurors, in any way regarding the case or its merits, either by voice, phone, email, text, internet, or means of communication.
How many lunches do we get
or
in a day?
social media. Read, watch, or listen to any news or media accounts or commentary about the case. Do research, consult dictionaries, the internet, or reference materials. Do any investigation, test a theory, recreate any aspect of the case, or in any other way investigate or learn about the case on your own, or form or express any opinion regarding the case until it's finally submitted to you. Thank you. You go with the officer of the court, and we will be in recess.
All right, for next meeting,
I think the court schedule has been set by a hobbit. We've got like first lunch, second lunch, and then early dinner, and then second dinner. But what in the world? What in the world? Yeah, we're at lunch already. Trying to get this over to my computer if it will work. MacBook Air. There we go. Okay. Bing. Just received it.
Looks like she wanted a letter for her employer, and then there are like some scheduling issues on the 22nd and 27th.
Okay, we're gonna do some checks to see if I can bring you the behind the scenes audio. Because if we can, I definitely will. That way we might be able to get some sidebar stuff. There's two people watching the behind the scenes view. 2. I'm one of them. I think the other one is the court. All right, let's see. Lunch again. Got a phone call, just one sec.
Call from Laura Fry.
Laura, how are you doing? This is RA. What's happening?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing just peachy. I really am.
I just have one quick question.
Okay.
Is the park people leave, or are they still out there napping?
Oh, they... I'm not sure if you saw, I made a huge apology about that. I misjudged the situation in a big way. I think there were some drugs involved. It turns out they're homeless. What I saw in the morning was not the complete picture, but I went out there, Mrs. R.A., and I went out there, met with them briefly over lunch, talked to them, gave them some food, some water, talked to them, make sure that everything was okay, and so they're fine. They're doing well.
Yeah, this kind of situation looked like to me they had a little bit too much stuff and then had to take a nap. And well, I'm just glad you got them something to eat and all that. And sorry you can't see the mountain today.
Yeah, there's no. I can barely see the trees on the other side of the park. I don't know. Is this smoke or smog? I'm not sure. But
could be both.
Yep.
All right. Well, you have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. I guess we get another lunch. Did anyone see what time that we're coming back from lunch? Just tell us on bail or in jail. I think he's in jail. Don't think he can afford the bail. He's been in jail for quite a while. Benefield Docks. They're coming back at 1 p.m., which is 4... Hang on. 1 p.m. Pacific. Right now it is... So an hour and 15 minutes. Is that right? 2 p.m. Mountain. Thank you, Alita. I need that. Holy cow, the jets are so low. Can you hear that? I mean, if I turned on this camera, you could. That's how it sounds like in the room. And that's me as well. That's RA's tummy. Spicy documents, please. All right, let's see. I've got to do something really quickly first. So got to read a very small document. This is not spicy. This says at the very top, Clark County Courts, 8th Judicial District Court, Las Vegas Township Justice Court, media guidelines for media coverage in the Clark County Courts. So, part 1, part 2. Sorry, this is important reading here. What we might do, this might put us back in the same situation we had with the Maya trial, where I can legally listen to but can't let you hear what I'm hearing on the bench. And if that's the case, I'll be providing a running commentary, word for word or close to it. Jets are flying still. Okay. One more minute here. Sorry, guys. This is crucial. I think what we're going to do is lunch. I know you guys want me to read the spicy Benefield stuff. I just don't have them prepped and ready to go. I'd have to dig them up. I'm on part 19, if that helps. I'm on page 3 already. Okay, so nothing there. Nothing there. Checking. Look at that. That's like going to give me a seizure. It says private. Can you read that? It says private. Okay, I can't let you hear the bench conference, so I'll have to read that to you directly. All right, that's everything I needed. All right, it's a rule. It's a rule. Every court has different rules. They have a decorum order, an immediate order, and I just want to review that to make sure we're following everything properly. I do have a feed that might give me some of the bench conference commentary, some of it, and if so, I'm allowed to listen, but I can't play it for you. That's how it goes. So I might be able to tell you what's going on. Where are we behind the scenes? We're in the private area. We're in private area. All right, we're going to take another lunch because honestly, I did not get a first lunch. I don't know what else to do other than that. I need to get some food in me. First lunch was a little bit rushed. We have to respect the rules of the court or else we don't get to be in other courts. That's we're always looking out for the next trial. So as soon as we burn one bridge, we end up burning all the bridges because the word will get out and they'll say, nope, can't do that. All right, so let's go to lunch. If I can eat quickly and come back quickly, we might read the Banfield docs before we jump back to trial. Let's see, they're coming back at 2, right? So we have an hour. Give me at least 45 minutes. Does that work? Adam, Weather Watch was quick. You just about earned yourself a timeout there. I know what you're referencing, but no. All right, so 45. Let's do that. Let's have a brief break, and we'll be back. We'll be back with the after lunch session of the Robert Tellis trial. Apparently, they work 45 minutes in the morning, and then they take lunch for an hour and 45 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes, and then we work a little bit in the afternoon. Multiple lunches are going to get me. They are. The trial went to lunch. They went to lunch already. They had one witness and went to lunch. So, all right, guys, thank you very much. We'll be back here in about 45 minutes, maybe a little less. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again in about 45 minutes with part 2 of day 2 of the Robert Tellis trial out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He's accused of murdering an investigative reporter who was doing stories on him and a hostile environment that was under his management in the public administrator's office. A little suspicious. Lots of evidence, lots of camera footage to see in this one. So we'll see you guys on the flip side. Have a good lunch. See you.